To all my 322 crew, your boy. We're on 322 in the house. Thought I'd make this special live. I'm actually testing it through OBS, see how things are running over on Twitch, and then from there, port everything over, you know, to over the tube. Anyway, wanted to make this video because I skipped two Persona 5 Royal Arc conclusion thoughts. I actually skipped two of them, so I gotta make it up to you and make it a double whammy, right? So, obviously, the last two arcs consisted of the palace in Futaba's mine, as well as the palace in Okumura's as well, and also the aftermath that came afterwards, right? So, those of you that have tuned in to the narrative of Persona 5 Royal on my YouTube channel, or even here on Twitch, although I suggest you guys go to Ron322 on YouTube so you can actually see the full story. I'm actually creating a highlights version of the Persona 5 Royal playlist. That way it's a lot quicker, more to the point in terms of the main story, instead of worrying about all the side quests and all the BS that I usually do. So with Futaba, we had the situation where obviously she is the adoptive daughter of Sojiro. Problem is, they're accusing him of child abuse because the girl hadn't been in high school. You know, she's always in, she never steps out the house, so on and so forth. And of course, we found out she's a bit of a hoarder too. Thank God for the Phantom Thieves for cleaning up her room, because Jesus Christ, it was a mess. With that said, right, what ended up happening was following. Obviously, they went in. Obviously, in her mind, you know, her own room is a tomb. She felt she was going to die. This, that, and the fourth, right? And then, come to find out, come in, she thought that her mother had, you know, offed herself out of maternal neurosis. Now, when it came to the term maternal neurosis, I had to dig that shit up. I was like, what the hell is maternal neurosis? The most I got to discover was the following. Hold on, let me close something real quick, just in case if it affects stream quality. You just never knew. Okay. Basically, it is the equivalent to postpartum, but on a point where you're not only dealing with postpartum depression, but also you're a neurotic mess, or mentally you're just, you know. So, with that said, right? Yeah. So even if, right, you got postpartum, which postpartum depression is not a joke. I seen my kid's mom go through it, you know, prior to divorce and everything. It's rough. It's rough, especially when you have people that are going through so many different things, so many changes, right? So in the case of Ishiwakaba, which is Futaba's mother, she's doing the whole cognitive science research as a kid, postpartum, whatever. So you're led to believe that she might have offed herself. But then the weird part is leaving a very elaborate suicide note. That don't add up. And the fact that you got 3 or 4 people reading them to you and everything, come on, something wasn't right. And then eventually she found out because the Phantom Thieves managed to figure it out through the puzzle pieces, things weren't so. That clearly the suicide note was a farce. It was false. She was most likely terminated by a mental shutdown that led to what was perceived as her throwing herself in front of a car, when in reality, someone caused a mental shutdown that made her stop being able to move. Next thing you know, her body, boom. Mental shutdowns, as you can see within the series, is equivalent to when you get your name written down on a death note by Light Yagami. Writes your name down, you die. Instant heart attack if he doesn't write the description how you died, unless he writes his description. In the case of a mental shutdown, she ended up flying in front of a car. So if in fact she did have a sense of maternal neurosis or a severe postpartum that led to suicide, it wasn't of her own volition, but rather it was via mental shutdown. So something happened, someone hacked her brain and killed her in there and drove her, basically ran her to the ground inside her head, and then her body followed. Kind of like how if your mind falls apart, the body follows. Similar concept, except that but the reality was her mother did love her. She was actually just doing everything she was trying to do for her kid. And it was more of, no, I ain't trying to give you attention. I'm just trying to take care of this. Let me take care of this, and then we could go wherever you want. We could do whatever you want, type of thing. So the reality is, the mom actually loved her. So good on the Phantom Thieves for helping Futaba out and making a great ally out of her. Sad part was when it came to a Okumura arc, because at first you had Morgana. He's your guide. He's your magician. He is the one that's trying to help you find your journey through trying to clear your name, trying to really rectify yourself, despite the fact that everyone perceives you as some freaking criminal, even though you committed no actual crime. Then Makoto shows up. She's Sai Nijima's sister, who's top teacher's pet and top of the class, the third year senior, so to speak, who is more of the mental strategist when it comes to dealing with certain things and certain details. She's the surface level intel, whereas Morgana is more of a surface level navigator. But now with Futaba, she's the hacker. She's the one that's full on navigator. Leaves Morgana feeling inadequate, feeling useless. And of course, God forbid, Ryuji doesn't open his big ass mouth and say some dumb shit. Let me tell you something. Loose lips sink ships, and he is proof of that. Because of his dumb ass, there was a divide among the Phantom Thieves themselves, which is irritating. Which led to Morgana disappearing for a bit, and next thing you know, we're like, well, we can't really do anything without him, because if we got Phantom Thief requests, for mementos, we can't do anything because it'll take forever just to run around everywhere, even though it would have been nice if they gave you the option of just running around everywhere without him. But obviously they didn't let that happen in the game for the simple fact of, Morgana's the peanut butter and jelly of the group. He's that thing that keeps the pieces of bread together. So then he finds Haru, that whole thing. Find out Okumura's a piece of shit. Not only is he treating his Big Bang Burger people like freaking robots, which really made me think about also what's going on right now with the whole pandemic thing, right? Obviously, for a lot of people, unemployment is about to run out soon. Extra benefits about to go zip, especially here in Florida. So you guys better be getting to work. And trust me, the jobs are there. Now here's my issue, and this isn't any one particular group, not a Whole Foods thing, not a McDonald's thing. This is something that's constantly happening in workplaces where employees are treated like robots. And I actually like the fact that when you're in the classroom in the game, they actually teach you where the word robot comes from. It comes from roboto, from the Czech Republic, which means slave labor. And the problem we have right now is a lot of places, they're underemployed. We can debate all day about wages, and how much people should get paid, yada, yada, yada. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the fact it's the treatment. Either you're underemployed when it comes to staff or you have a full staff. The constant treatment of them like they're soulless robots. I've seen this all the time. They want you to greet everyone while you're in the middle of serving someone, while you're in the middle of ringing someone up. Things like that where it's like, come on now. Like, gotta treat your employees like human beings. You take care of them, they will take care of your business. I don't believe in that. You have good morale, guess what? Everyone's going to want to work together. It's the same thing when it comes to when you're in a band, right? Because when I was with Brotherhood of Outcasts and everything back home in Brooklyn and New York City, it was the same thing. You guys aren't exactly in good morale. No matter how good you guys may be, individually, but when y'all come as a whole, you're gonna feel the static in the air where things just aren't gelling, things aren't coming together the way they should. Same concept. And then you find out right after you changed his heart, right after you whooped his ass and basically bailed his daughter Haru, who is now a member of our team, what happens? He gets shot. He got killed as soon as we walked away. As soon as we were out the door, ready to book it, be like, all right, mission accomplished, he gets killed. And then we get blamed for it. And then we got Goro Akechi talking his jive for like Tucker Carlson up on TV. You know, Mr. Conspiracy Theorist. Look, I'm just saying. Hope you like this. And then it just gets crazy. But it really goes to show, you know, the importance of parenting, understanding things. That was the thing with Futaba. But then even also when it came to Okumura, just a douchebaggery, like the whole arranging the marriage with some dude with his daughter just because she's about to be of age, but not so much for security for her, but to secure control of his own company in the event of his absence. But making sure that whoever gets with her is someone that's more to his liking, to his mindset, so to speak. You know, the whole keep treating them like robots and, you know, everyone's dispensable, disposable. So this guy burns out, that's okay. You can always hire a new guy. You know what I mean? There's a saying. Actually, I saw this in a meme, I want to say 2, 3 weeks ago, where you train them so that they're able to leave, but also treat them and take care of them in a way where they won't want to, even if they could, right? And I think that's an interesting thing to think about, right? So think about cultivating a relationship, right, with coworkers, with band members, with other collaborators, right? Train them in whatever it is that they got to do, want to do, so that if they ever have to spread their wings and fly elsewhere to achieve whatever they got to achieve, they have everything they need to do so, right? But in your treatment of them, let's say there are other opportunities out there, but because you treated them so well and you've taken care of them in the way that they need to be taken care of, even if there's someone else out there that may give something similar to offer, they won't leave and they actually create loyalty to you because of how you've treated them. I believe in that. I believe in that. Absolutely. Like if I had a whole group of guys or girls to work out with me and we managed to crush some PRs together or we managed to make some music together and everything. Even if, let's say, down the block, there's like 2, 3 other guys or girls they can work with, maybe more skilled than me, maybe more experienced than me. But chances are, there's a possibility they may not treat them personally at the same level as I did or do, or whatever the case may be. There may be that one thing that I'm able to accomplish that the others are not able to, where they're like, you know what, we could go with that other guy or that other girl, but you know what, Ron, we'll work with you, we'll stick with you because you know what, you treat us good, you do right by us. And because of that, we're loyal to you and we do right by you. And I believe that is a, what's that principle called? I think it's called something about transactional or whatever. I think that's where the whole aspect of the law of transaction works. Where it's like, you know what? You do right by people, then you know what? If they got sense, they'll do right by you. And I'm a firm believer in that. Okumura obviously didn't give a damn. And there goes the consequence. Of course, he shouldn't have died. I don't think he deserved to die. Arrested, maybe. Ousted by his own company, hell yeah. Right? Now, I'm not going to spoil what's going to happen next. But as we develop our friendship with Haru, well, other things develop. And if some of you have already played Persona 5 Scramble, you already know what happened. You already know what happened in the aftermath. So there's that. So having said that, Ron322 is signing off. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. If it's your first time watching, feel free to follow, even subscribe, help the channel out. I should have somewhere up here my link to my YouTube channel, my Twitter, my Instagram. so on and so forth. Just look up Ron322 on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way, anything Ron322 related, not necessarily gaming, could be working out stuff, could be stuff related to my music or art, which will always be on the table with this. And well, I'll see you guys next time.